guys, welcome back to my channel today. If you haven't joined the Black Envy movement, click the subscribe button and join now. Like, what are you doing? Okay, I told you I was going to bring you some realness, some fire videos, and that's what I'm doing. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the real truth about relationships slash marriages. On my Snapchat, I asked if anybody wanted me to talk about this, you know, from my opinions and my perspectives and my views on it, since I am in a relationship and what I've learned from my past 2 real relationships, even though I haven't went through a lot, but I've been through a lot. Okay, and basically in this video I'm going to talk about the truths that people neglect or don't know about when you're in a relationship slash marriage, and things you should do. Like, you should know, like, it's not all glitz and glam. It's not all about couple goals and cute pictures and cute videos. It's more to that, and that it is a job itself. Okay, so let's start the video and remind you one more time, join the Black Envy movement and click the subscribe button. Alright, cool. So to start into my video, I just noticed over like a period of time, especially me growing up and me being in these past 2 relationships, that, you know, relationships are glorified. There's nothing wrong with, you know, adoring people's relationships, you know, hashtag couple goals, you know. Even myself, I catch myself like, oh my god, that's so sweet, oh my god, they're so cute. You're like, I catch myself doing the same thing. But we have to have a thin line to understand that not everything that is seen is what it is. It's the truth. Not everything that is seen or publicized or put on social media is what it is. Okay, here are the things, you know, I've learned that are not being said about relationships. 1, it's a full-time job. It is a full-time job to be in a relationship with somebody, because when you're in a relationship with somebody, it's not about you anymore. It's not about what only you want. It's not about what only you have plans for yourself. It's a teamwork. Like, you're pairing up with somebody else and you have to work like teammates. That's what it is. You become a team and now you're teammates and you guys have to work together. It's not always about me. It's not always about what, you know, I want, but it's also about what the other person wants. So that requires a lot of compromise, a lot of teamwork, and to put our pride aside, because you can't be in a team and then you don't want to compromise because you only want what you want to happen. It won't succeed. It won't, you know, survive. It's gonna break down. It's gonna end. And I don't think anybody wants, you know, the relationship to end. I think everybody has a goal for how far they want their relationship to go, because as I said, relationships are a very beautiful thing. Also marriages. And how you treat your partner during the relationship is how you're going to treat them in marriage. Just because you say I do doesn't mean the person is going to change. Who they were before is who they will continue to be after saying I do. Another thing, you cannot be selfish. Like, I know I was just saying that about teamwork, but this is like the biggest key. You cannot be selfish in a marriage slash relationship. It's not gonna work. Being selfish, like, you might as well just be single and do your own thing, because it's just gonna cause more arguments, more conflicts, more division, more separation. So instead of enjoying the time you're spending with your partner and enjoying and creating memories, you guys are arguing because you feel like you should always get your way, and you don't care about your partner who's putting all this effort to keep you happy. You get what I'm saying? So it's 100% on both parts. I'm not going to say 50-50. That's not enough. It's 100% on both parts to put 200% to continue the relationship, to keep going and to succeed. You will never stop working when you're in a relationship. You will never stop, you know, helping your partner get to where they want to be. When you have your own dreams and your partner have their own dreams, you still got to compromise on that as well. And you have to support your partner's dreams so you can get that support back in order for you to get to actually succeed and reach your goal. For example, I'm going to take myself as an example. In both relationships, both my partners, my past partner and my partner now, they both knew I was really into the beauty world. They knew I was into makeup and I wanted to do YouTube and all that. And both of those people I was with and the person I am now, the person I was with and who I am now, supported me in my dream. That's one thing I will credit. And I also supported them in their dream. And one thing I will say that I really appreciate with my partner I am with now, and that I love him so much for, and that, you know, I'm never going to discredit him, and I can never talk down on him. He has sacrificed a lot for me to focus on what I want, where I want to be at in life, and to make sure me and him have a better life, to reach our goals together as a couple and as individuals. And he has helped me abundantly, and till this day he is my biggest cheerleader. He is my biggest supporter in everything I do. He pushes me every day to get better at my craft, whether it's in makeup or hair, or just figuring it out how I'm gonna even start my own business. And I really appreciate him so much for doing that. But let's just say if, you know, I was being selfish and I didn't also support him in his dreams, because I always said, like, even though you're supporting me, I want to support you too. I don't want you to feel like you're putting all this energy in me and my dreams and you don't succeed your dreams either. I'm going to be there for you. I'm going to cheer you on just like you're cheering me on, because I want to see both of us succeed, because it benefits one another. It's not just me who succeeds, but it's also him that succeeds. Therefore, you get more joy when you're getting support from your partner and you're supporting them, because don't be selfish. Don't be like, if your partner reached their goals and you haven't reached your goal or your dream, oh my God, you have this envy, you have this jealousy. You're neglecting the fact that them reaching their goals benefits you, because you guys are together. You become one. You are a team. Therefore, you reap the benefits of him reaching his goal, the same way vice versa. So therefore, you know, my partner is going to benefit a lot from my success, because I'm going to share that with him, because he has put 100%, just like I'm putting 100% into my dreams. Now, if you're going to be selfish, I probably, like, if I was going to be selfish, I probably wouldn't reach as far as to putting out my depression video or even perfecting my craft every day. When I started dating my partner, I remember I was not as good as I was today in makeup nor hair. I'm not gonna lie, and that's a fact. And he took his time and learned the crafts of makeup and hair, even though him himself is not interested in that field, doesn't want to pursue that field. But just to make sure I get better, he researched MAC just to figure out if I can get a job at MAC. He researched how to get a job at Sephora. You know, he was finding ways to get me out there, because he believes so much in my dreams. Therefore, he pushed me to do better in my craft, because if I do a makeup look, he's looking at my blending, he's looking at my shadows, he's looking at my foundation. Is everything blending right? Is this my shade? And, like, you know, and he's that person. He's looking at if my closure is sitting right on my head, girl. He's making sure my wig is looking nice and right. And that's a person you need on your team. And the only way you could do that is when you're selfless. When you don't only think of yourself, but you think of the other person. And therefore, they will give that same positivity back to you. If I was selfish to my partner, I wouldn't be here right now. And that's an honest fact. Another thing about relationships / marriages, because this does apply to both realms, make sure, if this is truly the person you want to be with and this person is good for you and they help you grow, like you notice you're growing as a person all around, and this is the person you want in your life, make sure breaking up or divorce is not on the table. Make sure that, you know, it's not an option, and that you have no choice but to work out your problems. My relationship is not perfect. I argue with him, and I have petty conversations with him. At times I would get real mad. At times I get him real mad. And if we were the type to just see breakup or a divorce as an option, we wouldn't be here. We just knew that we wanted to be with each other, and this is the person we want to be with. Therefore, we put in the work every day. Either it's just a simple good morning text, or telling me that he loves me, or me telling him that I love him, or that he looks good, you know? Just compliments like that, to embrace your partner and show your partner that you love them and you appreciate them in your life. You know, that asks for effort as well. Surprising your partner with a gift, or surprising your partner with time. You know, just the other day my partner surprised me with 2 roses, and I love roses, red and white roses. And he would pay attention to the little things I like, and I would pay attention to the little things he liked. Therefore, you know, even things I wouldn't really like, I got into movies because he loved movies, and I want to spend that quality time with him. So all those things add up to how, you know, you could prevent separating or breaking up. You can't break up with just anything. I don't believe that most of the things cannot be resolved. I don't believe that. Me and my partner have been through hell and back. Literally, with certain cases where we could have just ended, like that's it, walked away from each other and kept pushing on in life. But that wasn't the case, because we knew that we loved one another. As long as you value what you have with your partner, and your partner as well values what you guys have, you guys can get through it. You guys can resolve it. It's not impossible. Don't make it a choice. Don't make it an option. Keep fighting forward. Okay, guys? So make sure you guys have a common goal. Because a lot of couples, they go in and they don't have common goals. Make sure you guys have a common goal, even though you're your own personality and you guys can have your own individual goals. Just because you're in a relationship doesn't mean you're bound to that person forever. You can have other friends, you can have other interests for yourselves, but make sure you guys have a common goal, that you guys are going somewhere together, and that's going to keep a bond. Just because you're married doesn't mean the romance ends. Continue dating one another. Continue holding yourself up. Continue taking care of yourself. You know what I'm saying? Get yourself dolled up. Get yourself prettied up. Continue giving your partner value on a daily basis. Because me as a girl, I know I love attention. I love attention with all my heart. My partner can verify that. I love attention. I love compliments. I love feeling special. The reason why I crave that from him, the more he gives me attention, the more he shows appreciation of me, I don't want it anywhere else. I don't want it from any other guy. A guy can holler at me, I'm not going to care, because I got a good man at home waiting for me. Therefore, I'm not worried or tripping about the next dude who's trying to roll up, because I got mine. Mine's is good. Therefore, he's giving me everything I need, and I have to do the same in order he doesn't feel tempted to step outside our relationship, because I'm not giving him everything he needs. Now, if I'm giving him everything he needs and he step out, he on his own, you know, he can bounce. But, you know, if I know I'm doing everything right, for now, like forever, I hope, you know, he's not going to do that to me. So, therefore, you know, it requires time and patience. And your partner is not going to be perfect. A lot of people go into relationships and they believe all these social media couples, and they think it's supposed to be just like that. The biggest mistake you can ever do getting in a relationship with someone is to believe or to compare them to another relationship or another couple. You can never do that, because you never know what happens behind closed doors, nor do you even know them as people. You get what I'm saying? You and your partner are 2 completely different people compared to the next couple you see on your Instagram or your YouTube or whatever. So therefore, don't expect much. Don't focus too much on the material things. Rather, me, as I'm a really weird girlfriend. Like, I am complex but simple at the same time. Like a simple complex type of person. Like, you can write me a cute little note on a sticky note and I'm like bawling in tears, just because it's not the fact that you wrote a little note on the sticky pad. It's the fact that you took your time and you remembered me to leave me a note. That's what's gonna warm my heart. I'm not the type to be like, oh, you gotta give me the biggest ring in the world, or you gotta give me the biggest things in the world. I don't really, if I know that that is not in your ability, I'm not going to ask for it, nor do I expect it. Just show your appreciation in any way that you can show it. I will ball out in tears. That's who I am as a person. So don't focus too much on the materialistic things, because materialistic things do not define how you feel for a person. Another thing you need to understand that people don't realize: don't be in a relationship because people expect you to be in that relationship. And don't be in a relationship just because your heart is telling you so, even though in the back of your mind you know this relationship is not going to do you well. The Bible says your heart could be treacherous. So if your heart and your mind ain't matching, honey, then you need to reevaluate your red flags that you're ignoring, and you need to reevaluate your relationship and see if it's worth your health and your life. Because why would you be in a relationship that's not doing you good? Like, look at me, I'm glowing. Like, I'm not gonna brag or nothing, but I'm being honest, I'm glowing. Like, yeah, I know y'all see the glow up. Like, I'm glowing because my partner does everything and more to make sure I'm good, because he's positive to me. He's good aura to me. You know what I'm saying? If you not glowing, boo, and you not smiling ear to ear every time you say his name or you even just think about him, and you feel this sense of unease, then you need to reevaluate, is this the person you want to be with? Because if you know this person is not going to fight for you to the end of their life, to the death of them, and you're not going to do the same, he probably is not the person you want to be with. Okay? Anyone could be the one, but you choose who ends up being the one. You get what I'm saying? Do not sacrifice your life, no matter how old you are. You could be 40. If this person is not doing you well, you are not obligated to continue wasting your life with that person. Just because you have kids with that person, if that person is not healthy to you, if you're not good health-wise and mental-wise and emotionally and spiritually, how can you care for other people? And I feel like a lot of people neglect that, because when they stay in relationships, even though they're not healthy and they're not good, and they stay because of other people, of what they might say, or for their children, listen, understand that if you are not taken care of, and you are not in a good position in life, and you're not cared for, and you are sick, either physically, emotionally, mentally, or even spiritually, and this person is not benefiting you, you need to go, because you cannot help your kids. You cannot help yourself. So why stay in that? Don't do that. You need to find someone who will uplift you, help you grow, will be honest with you, but still a positive energy to continue the drive you have for yourself to become a better you. And another thing I want people to know, the one last thing, which is, I feel like, is the really most important things that they do not tell you. And I know what I'm saying, everything I've said might seem like common sense, but to be honest, it's really not for a lot of people. So I need to educate y'all on this. The most important thing I will say before, like, you know, the most important thing, you need to understand the difference between infatuation and actually loving someone. The moment you know you love someone is when you put their needs before you. The moment you realize you love someone is when the same love you have for your family is the same love you have for them. Because once you become with that person, you do become a family. You become your own family. Now, if that same kind of love is not carried into your relationship, you probably might not love that person. And I know it sounds weird of what I'm saying, but imagine you and your family. You love your parents to death, or you love your siblings to death, or your guardian to death. And even though, you know, you guys fight and you argue, you have altercations, and sometimes you will be pissed at each other, but you care so much about the person and their well-being, and you want to do everything to make sure they're good. that love has to carry out to the person you're with. And that's how you'll know that this is the person you love. You're not blinded by their weaknesses. You're not blinded by things that you might throw you off. You acknowledge them and you discuss them. And you yourself sit there and ask yourself, are you willing to tolerate and work with and help that person grow in order to make those weaknesses become strengths? That's when you know you're in love. Because when you love someone, I don't like saying in love, because there's a difference between when you're in love and you love. When you're in love, it's kind of infatuation, and sometimes you're taken out of reality. But when you love, you know the reality, you know you're being rational, but you know that this person is going to do good to you. So before you guys get in a relationship, or if you're in a relationship, sit there, think about everything I've said, analyze yourselves, talk it out. Communication is very important. Before I forget, because I have to bring up the common one that people still neglect to this day. Because one thing that annoys me out the butt is when people do not let their partner know how they really feel. Like, they will call up their family, their friends, people, strangers, everything, vent on social media about their partner, but won't tell their partner to their face that they're sleeping next to every night. Like, that's ridiculous. I didn't know you were in a relationship with your family and your friends and strangers on social media. I thought you was in a relationship with your man/woman. Listen, you have an issue with your partner, talk to them. That's why they are your partner. Talk to them. Don't be scared, because they know who you were when they got in a relationship. They're not going to run away now. So make sure you communicate the best way you can, and to make sure that, communication is key. Like, even me, at times, I don't even want to communicate with my partner, and I'm still working on it, because sometimes, like, if I feel like he don't understand me, I will just ignore him, or I will just brush it off, and I won't talk about it. And I know that's not the way to go. It's not. And even though I try to be as expressive as possible, sometimes I do hold back. I can't do that. I can't do that. Neither should you. You should talk to your partner. You need to let them know. So, guys, remember, you guys can't be selfish. You guys are a team. That means you have to compromise and work hard, and both have to give 100% on both sides, okay? Don't be selfish. Compromise, okay? See if this person, succeed in their goals. Like, help you succeed in their goals, and that they're goal-oriented for themselves, and both of you and them, and that you guys are going somewhere in life, okay? Make sure this person truly loves you and respects you for who you are, and respects your family and the people you love. Because they not doing that, you need to question that, okay? Companionship is very important. Don't compare yourself to anybody else's relationship, no matter how perfect it seems. Do not compare yourself to anybody else. Breaking up and divorce is not an option. Work it out, because most of the situations, most of the altercations can be resolved. Talk about it. Communication is key. Talk about it. Prevent it from ending. And remember that you have memories and love that is stronger than whatever you guys are arguing about. Okay? And last but not least, communication. Make sure you guys have communication all around about. Make sure you guys talk about anything and anything, from sex to your personal life, or how you feel about a family member, or whatever. We're all adults. Don't be afraid to talk about sex with your partner. Don't be afraid to take your partner to get tested, regardless if you're married or not. Those things are very important, because the way the world is set up right now, that's a fact. I'm not afraid to talk about it. Especially when you're married, don't neglect it, because in the Bible you do owe your partner that. So therefore, don't use it as like a mechanism. Because I'm going to tell you now, men do not fall far for sex. Men, if you're not giving it, a man going to look for it somewhere else. There's better ways to handle your situation and to talk it out with your man than threaten him about having sex, because you owe him that. That is a sin, to hold back sex from your husband. Therefore, you need to talk about it. So therefore, guys, I hope you guys enjoy the video. I'm gonna have more videos about this, more of my opinions, more things you need to know about marriage. I know this was more focused on the relationship status than marriage, but the next video I will go into depth about marriage, and it's solely marriage for anyone who wants to get married, anyone thinking about marriage, or anyone who's in a marriage, who are newlyweds or already in a marriage for years. I'm going to have a video focused on that and share my thoughts. Guys, I think because of the electricity is playing games anyway. And share my thoughts about all those things. Before you leave, make sure you join the Black Envy movement, subscribe down below, and see you in my next video. Bye guys.